my cool water. My cool water. That was a great reference. I'm gonna keep that in actually. On my curious cat, I get a plethora of truly unnerving questions. But one question that comes up quite often is, what vinyls do I have? And I've always wanted to answer, but it's quite difficult to do that in text form. So I was like, fuck it, I'll make a video. So that's what's happening today. This is niche, guys. I think the easiest thing to do would just be to get the Abba just out of the way right now, because honestly I have a sickness. And that sickness is 1970s Scandi pop. Abba, guys. We have Waterloo, their second album. We have the first Greatest Hits volume. We have Arrival, their best-selling album. Abba the album coincides with Abba the movie. Greatest Hits Volume 2, another great compilation album. Voulez-vous, Abba Goes Disco. Super Trooper, Abba Goes Sad. The Visitors, Abba goes and makes one of the greatest albums of all time. And then the 90s comes around, and Abba Gold happens. Eagle-eyed Abba fans, oh actually Eagle, accidental Abba reference there, will realise that I don't have their first album, which is Ring Ring, which annoyingly, honestly, how dare they, was only released in Sweden and is quite difficult to get an original copy of, but I'll get it someday. And I also don't have their third album, Abba. They decided to go self-titled on the third album for some reason. Now we move on to the 1990s with two of, not even my personal opinion, just facts, two of the greatest acts to ever come out of the 90s, with two of the greatest albums to be produced in that decade. The first is an album which genuinely, if you do not know this album, please, like, fix that, because it's fucking amazing. And you'll probably all know it anyway. It's Dummy by Portishead. This album is just, like, it's one of those albums where I have to put it, like, it's good that I have it on record, because I have to put it on at the beginning and just listen all the ways through. I can't just, like, pick a song. It has to be kind of like a 40-minute kind of, like, overture almost. It's just, like, this fucking album is amazing, guys. And the next amazing act from the 90s with another amazing album, a debut album, much like Dummy as well. Oh, and there she is, guys. There she is. Olivia Newton-John. No, I'm joking. Björk. This is Debut, which is a fucking amazing album. Honestly, Debut has one of the best, like, sides to a record ever. The A-side of this album is Human Behavior, which goes into Crying, which goes into Venus as a Boy, which goes into There's More to Life Than This, which goes into Like Someone in Love, and then ends with Big Time Sensuality. Like, what the fuck? That's amazing. Moving on to EDM slash techno slash house slash, I don't know, they make noises with computers. It's Basement Jaxx, the singles. This is such a quintessential singles album. This is a fabulous, like, double album, and it's absolutely, like, crazy. I mean, like, you've got Red Alert, you've got Good Luck, Romeo, oh my gosh, Bingo Bango, Where's Your Head At? I mean, so many classics. And then also someone who came into my life recently, who was actually still a fairly new act, but is probably my favourite electronic music artist, I don't know the terms, working right now, is Mr. Muramasa, who is, like, literally the same age as me. And yet I'm here holding his debut album on vinyl, and I'm sitting in my bedroom talking about it. So you know what? The world works in mysterious ways, but honestly, she a bitch. Okay, Rodgers and Hammerstein are my dads. Original Broadway cast recording and movie soundtrack of Oklahoma, because name a more influential musical, honestly. Some enchanted evening. South Pacific won the Pulitzer. I think it was the first musical to actually win the Pulitzer Prize for Drama. Honestly, I should have researched this. South Pacific, I think I actually prefer over Oklahoma, but I don't talk about as much. I love this. Oh my god, this is so good. And then we kind of skip from South Pacific all the ways to the end of Rodgers and Hammerstein with... This isn't actually the original cast recording, nor is it the movie recording. This is a studio recording that must have been done sometime either in the late 60s or early 70s, because it has I Have Confidence on it, which was written specifically for the movie. But interestingly, Patricia Rutledge plays the mother Abbess on this, and you will know her from being Hyacinth Bouquet. She is a fucking amazing operatic singer and has won a Tony Award. So you know what, the more you know. Just one of the most perfect musical adaptations ever. My Fair Lady, Lerner and Loewe. This is actually the London cast recording. This was recorded on the 1st of February 1959. A musical that doesn't really get as much attention anymore that it deserves, I feel, and quite rightfully beat West Side Story to the Tony for Best Musical. It's The Music Man. I mean, what a masterpiece. This is just an amazing score by Meredith Willson, who didn't really do that well afterwards. I mean, there's a couple good songs in The Unsinkable Molly Brown that are alright. And also he did It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. That's Meredith Willson, it's the same guy. But just buy this for the late great Barbara Cook, the original ingenue. Rest in peace, Barbara. We love you, you're amazing. This next musical, honestly, if I was given a chance to star in a musical, this is the role that I would want to play. All my desks can be sad, expect me to outshine the enemy. The aristocracy, I won't disappoint them. I'm their saviour, that's what I can totally hit those notes, guys. Evita. This is the original concept album. This was done before it was produced. You know, sometimes they do concept albums in order to like raise money and shit like that. One really great thing about this is that the role of the mistress, who has one song, Another Suitcase in Another Hall, is played by Barbara Dixon. The Barbara Dixon, as in from Chess. And isn't she also in the original cast of Blood Brothers as well? Love a bit of Barbara Dixon. Honestly, if you don't know this musical, then I'm gonna be blunt, then you don't know fucking anything about musical theatre. It's company. It's Sondheim's company. I feel I don't even have to say much about this. I mean, it's company. It changed musical theatre forever, really. It's Sondheim's best score, to be honest. I always find myself going back to this. Also, like, could you get a more 70s cover? I do adore that. Also, R.I.P. Elaine Stritch. And now, a fitting way to end this video with the most fucking devastating, like, oh, I listen to this cast recording and I always just fucking lose it at the very end because it's the most depressing fucking ending to a musical ever. Step, kick, kick, leap, kick, touch. A chorus line. Like, oh, when they're all doing the kicks forever and ever and the stage, it goes black. It's fucking devastating. I feel I can't say much more about this because I will just have a fucking breakdown. So yeah, that was a journey through some of my vinyl. If you enjoy that, great, thanks. Like this video, follow my Twitter and my Instagram and become my patron. Do you know what? Do whatever you want. Jump off a building. I'll see you all again next week with hopefully a more coherent video. Although to be honest, I can't promise anything.